Hi there, I'm Sally. Welcome to class. This session will be focusing on the pelvic floor. There'll be no standing postures whatsoever. We'll be either seated, kneeling or lying on our backs. So let's start. We're going to come into just an easy cross-leg position. Do feel free to take something to go underneath the hips to elevate the hips if this is not comfortable for you. You might find if you have knee pain today, just popping a bolster or blocks or just simply a cushion underneath the hips just takes a little bit of that soreness away on the knee. So do feel free to take that if you need to. And then we're just going to relax the hands down into the lap as well. Allow the shoulders now to relax back and down too. We're going to start with some breath work. So relaxing the jaw, relaxing the face. Allow the shoulders to just soften back and down. And just feel a little lift through the breastbone as well. Allow the abdomen to soften. And as the jaw and neck soften more, feel the pelvic floor relax too. Taking a deep breath in, the pelvic floor drops down as we inhale. Diaphragm drops too. Expansion. And then as you exhale, feeling a retraction. So breath out, pelvic floor gently lifts. Navel draws into spine, diaphragm lifts up. And again, slow, deep inhale. Let everything relax, including the jaw. And then again, just a slow, deep exhale. Breath in. It's fine to breathe through the mouth if that works better for you. Slow, deep exhale. Good. Bring a little movement now. So just gently rocking side to side. This is just to bring our awareness to our pelvis. You might like to let the hands rest onto the knees as well. So just gently moving side to side. I invite you now to close the eyes or drop the gaze, drop the drishti down, just so you can be a little more inward, a bit more reflective. And bring your awareness now to the sitting bones, so the ischium. Good. And then let the hips settle, moving forwards and back now. Now I invite you to bring your awareness to the pubic bones and to the tailbone. So just bringing our awareness down deep into the pelvis, feeling a little more grounded. And then just coming back to the center point from there. Lovely. Okay. Now again, just inviting you to keep the eyes closed or keep the gaze low at least. Let's bring our full awareness now to those 4 points. We've got pubic bones at the front, tailbone or coccyx at the back, and then the sitting bones either side. So if we were to draw a line with all those, joining all those points, to give you a diamond shape. So let's just think about that at the base of our pelvis, our pelvic diamond. And again, you might like to, if you're a bit of a kinesthetic learner, you might like to just gently rock side to side again, just to, again, feel a little pressure across the sitting bones as you shift the weight, transfer the weight. And then coming forward, you're not going to really feel the pubic bones because you've got a pubic arch there, but you'll at least bring awareness to the area by moving forwards. And as you move back, you may feel a little pressure on the tailbone. Depends how long your tailbone is. Some people just have 3 small vertebrae there, some people 4, some people 5. So that's a very individual thing. Okay, and then just bringing your, again, center of gravity to literally to your center now. Okay, from here, we can do a little breath work. We can take an inhale through the nose if you can. If that's not for you today, just breathe through the mouth. That's absolutely fine. And then as you exhale, watch what happens to the body. So as you breathe out, we're going to breathe out through the mouth. Nice strong exhale. Feel the abdomen start to draw in a little. Okay, so that belly button moves in towards the spine. You might feel a slight tightening just under the chest as well, just below the chest. That's the diaphragm muscle moving up. And then take a breath in. When you're ready, let everything soften back down. So that's our yin energy. And then we've got a yang energy drawing up, strength work, subtle, but it's still strength work. And then again, inhale, releasing down, grounding. Exhale, strong, yang. Inhale, releasing down. Good. Keep going. Stay with that energy. As the navel gently draws into spine, so just feeling that belly button move in a little. You may find you feel a little sensation of lifting, or the energy lifting in the pelvic floor. You might feel it more physically, more energetically. It depends on your practice and awareness, etc. Some people describe it as just feeling those four bony points being gently drawn together as the muscles shorten and tighten. And then an expansion through the lower half of the pelvis as we breathe in, softening. Exhale, draw together. And then again, release, inhale, soften, expand. Some people find a little action around the glute area, around the bottom area. That's perfectly normal. The pelvic floor goes all the way back to the anus, so you might feel it around there. That's cool. And then from there, softening, inhale. You might feel it a little more towards the front of the pelvis as well. Also cool. We're all going to be a little different on this depending on our muscle condition and what we're used to, etc. And I should say at this point, you might not feel anything at all, and that's also okay. Again, it depends what you're used to, what kind of work you're used to. It doesn't mean you won't feel some work in the pelvic floor if you keep practicing. The muscles are there. They might just need a little more reconditioning. That's cool, but there's always potential with muscle fibers because there's big blood flow. So there's always potential for healing and more sensation. All right, so let's now bring a little movement into this. You might find it easier with some movement. I'm just going to turn to the side a little, just to the side a little. We're going to move the feet forwards just a touch. I'm just turning around so you can see what my back's doing. From here now, just letting the hands again relax on these, but get a bit of a grip on the knees now. Tuck the hips under, let the head relax down, rolling back, and then press the heart forwards, lifting the chin. And then again, rolling back through the spine. And then nice big inhale, expand. So think about that heart space expanding as well. And then again, tucking the hips under as you roll back. We breathe in, we breathe out. We breathe in, expand, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. Good. Now keep that going, and as you scoop the hips under, the pubic is going to move forwards, that tailbone's tucking under. You may feel a little bit more work in that pelvic floor area now. If you can't, just see if you can consciously connect with the pelvic floor and consciously draw up. So it's not so much a squeeze. I don't think that word's particularly helpful actually, because some people then push down. They send downward energy down into the pelvic floor. What we actually want is just a subtle sense of lifting up and in. Okay, breathing out again, tucking under. A little flexion through the spine. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck under. Inhale, lift. Let's just do a couple more. And again, if you can't really feel much going on with the pelvic floor when you tuck the hips under either, totally okay. The pelvic floor, I guarantee that the pelvic floor is working, because to tuck the pelvis under, the pelvic floor has to shorten in order for that movement to be actioned. Okay, so that's all good. All right, so from here now, coming back to the center, bringing one hand to the floor. Let's just stretch it out. Coming over into a side bend now, so gently reaching from there. Coming back to center, nice deep breath in, and we exhale now to reach over. Inhale back to center. Let's do one more either side. Nice. Okay, coming back to the top and reach. Good. Back to center. We're moving over onto the hands and knees now. So just coming into a box position. Hands just directly underneath the shoulders, just taking the knees apart a little. Taking a breath in now as you breathe out. Same action with the pelvis. We're tucking that tailbone in as we round up through the spine. Head is relaxing down. And then we inhale, flare the ribs a little, let the pelvic floor relax, lift the chin. And then again, curling back up through the spine, head relaxes down. And then again, inhale to release. Good. And then again, exhale to round up. Inhale, release. Let's do 2 more. Again, rounding up through the spine, make space across the back. Think about drawing up through the pelvic floor now. Inhale, we let it relax. Sitting bones move away from one another. One more time, think about drawing those 4 bony points towards one another now. So you close the pelvis and then we open the pelvis. Good, come back to neutral, stretching the pelvic floor a little now. I'm going to come into a lunge position. We don't often talk about stretching the pelvic floor, but like any muscle, it can get too tight, can get too strong. So we need to stretch it out as well as do strength work. Okay, this will also help keep healthy mobility of the pelvis and the hip joint in particular. And when we have that, we can work the pelvic floor more efficiently because it allows us to do more movements and engage it in different planes of motion. So coming on to hands and knees now, I'm going to place something underneath my hands. I find it a little easier to breathe with the hands elevated. So again, feel free to join me on that. I'm bringing my right foot forwards and I'm simply moving the hips forwards and back. Now trying to avoid just kind of flopping into the movement. That's really easy to do if you're hypermobile. So just be mindful of that. Keep the integrity of the movement. So it's a breath out to come forwards. Feel a little bit work in that left glute muscle. So you might have to actively switch it on. Give it a little squeeze. And then inhale to come back. So as you come forwards now, those thigh bones are moving away from one another. We've got hip flexion and extension going on, which means they're moving in opposite directions. This gives a little stretch to the pelvic floor. Releasing back. Exhale forwards. Inhale back. So I'm just going on a straight line at the moment, just simply moving forwards and back. We go on a diagonal. Now that pelvic floor reaches out to either sitting bone as well, so it's quite a diamond shape really. So it goes from front to back to side to side. And the pelvic floor is a muscle group. It's not just a muscle on its own, it's a muscle group. So, and all those muscle fibers move in different directions. So we need different directions of movement to engage it and to stretch it. So I'm just going to turn my front foot out now. So if it was on clock face, it'd be at 2 o'clock. And from there now I'm moving my hips over to 2 o'clock. So I'm going on a diagonal now. Again, using your breath. Exhale. And coming forwards. Let's see if we can draw the pelvic floor up a little as we move forwards. Well, on a diagonal forwards. And we inhale, relax it as we come back. Exhale forwards. We inhale to come back. Exhale. Inhale. Good. Okay, let's have a little rest. So coming back to centre now, 2 right angles on the legs. I'm just going to turn my foot so it's now at 12 o'clock. Hands onto the hips. Okay, and then we're just, real simple, we're just going to come straight forwards and back. Now as you come forwards, try not to drop that pelvis forwards and sink into that lower back. Yogis are great at that, but let's keep a little more neutral, much better way, or maybe not better, much more efficient way of getting that pelvic floor to lift when we maintain neutral in this position. So breath in. Exhale, now come forwards. Keep that glute switch on, that left glute switched on. That's going to act as your brake, so you can't go too far into it. Inhale back. Exhale, navel into spine, pelvic floor lifts. Good. Push into that right foot to bring you back. Coming forwards and back. Good. Again, coming forwards. Exhale, lift pelvic floor. We inhale to relax back. One more time. Good. And coming back from there. Awesome. Okay, bringing the right leg back. Let's just take a little rest, coming into Virasana. If that's too hard on your knees, please take a bolster. We're just going to have a little breather with lion breath. So for lion breath, helps to relax the jaw, therefore relaxes the pelvic floor, because the jaw and pelvic floor are very much connected via a vast network of muscles and also fascia. So for lion breath, we stick the tongue out down towards the chin and we lift the gaze. Got to look as fierce as possible. Let's do 3 together. Hands onto the knees. Breath in. Exhale, press forwards. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good job. Woo, excuse me. All right, so from here now, going to bring our left leg forwards. Coming back to our lunge. Again, feel free to put a little raise underneath the hands. I find with the hands on the floor, you end up, it depends on your proportions, but it can turn into a bit spine flexion. Then it's really hard for the diaphragm to relax and to get full lung capacity. So I like to use elevation. All right, so from here again, just nice and simple, slowly coming forwards and again coming back. Just really focusing on that lengthening phase. So eccentric phase where the muscles fibers start to lengthen out. Breath out, forwards, inhale back. We exhale forwards, soften, inhale back. Exhale, inhale. Little lift on the pelvic floor as you exhale, come forwards. Inhale to come back. You're also stretching the psoas muscle as you move forwards. And as you go out in a diagonal in a moment, psoas muscle is very, very connected to the pelvic floor. They're kind of interwoven like best mates. Okay. And then from here, just turning the foot out. So left foot now at 10 o'clock. And going again on a little bit of a diagonal. The hip joint is obviously a ball and socket joint, so it can go in many different directions. Some forms of yoga we tend to go forwards and back a lot, but it's a shame to not go out to the side a little bit too, because the hip joint should be able to do that quite easily. Again, exhaling as you come out. And an inhale again to come back. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Great. Okay. And then just coming up from there. So just have the left toes pointing forwards. Now 2 right angles on the legs, hands on the hips. So a little bit more of a control movement now. Taking a breath in, exhale, let the hips just glide forwards and then inhale back. It's just a small movement. Exhale, let that right glute muscle really contract now. Lift the pelvic floor slowly back. And if you or anyone you're teaching, finds that you just can't get that pelvic floor lifting, focus instead on drawing navel into spine. Then the transverse abdominis muscles start to work and they'll eventually give that pelvic floor a nudge to join in. Okay, again connected via fascia. Breathing out forwards. Inhale back, navel into spine. Let's go. Exhale and inhale back. Good job. Okay, Virasana again. One more set of lion breath. Okay, so again, hands down onto the knees. We take a breath in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And last time. Good job. Just pause there and just reconnect now with the pelvis. Bring your consciousness, bring awareness down to the hips. See if it feels any different to when we started. Is there an increased sensation? Can you feel more energy flow through the pelvis? Okay, so let's now come down onto our backs. You will need a block. If you don't have a block, grab a cushion or rolled up blanket, something like that. That'll work, that's fine. Okay, so bolster to one side. So come on down. Let's just plant the feet flat to the floor now. Okay, we'll start with the arms back in cactus arms. Now, if you find when you do that, it really arches your back quite uncomfortably, then you need to bring the arms down by your side instead. That's going to be better for you. Feet flat to the floor, and then we simply rock the pelvis forwards and back. Okay, so it's a breath in, breath out to rock back. Inhale. Exhale. So I'm just going to roll my top up so you can see what I'm doing a bit more clearly. So as you breathe out, we're just getting rid of that space between the spine and the floor. And as we inhale, we soften, lifting up. Exhale again to press down. And then again, we inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale. So it's just that rocking action of the pelvis, but we've just changed our plane of movement, because now we're down on our back in a supine position. That means face up. So exhale. So gravity is going to have a slightly different effect on us now to when we were sitting up. This should feel a bit easier, hopefully. Excuse me. Exhale, pressing down. Inhale, back. Good. Okay. So let's now we've got the movement, let's just bring our hands in this position onto the pelvis, just so we can connect with the hips a little more consciously. And then from here, again, just let the lower back press down so your fingertips are lifting and the thumb tips are dropping. And then take it the opposite direction. Now the thumbs are higher than the fingertips. And then again, press back down, breathing out. Breathe in through the nose, left. Exhale, press down. Inhale, left. Good. And then make the movement a bit more subtle. Just a little more subtle, just gentle rock. And again, this is a great movement to do if you're quite new to doing pelvic floor, if you're a teacher and you just want to guide someone into doing some pelvic floor work. This is a nice one to do because it's quite gentle. You've got gravity on your side, so as you tilt the pelvis back, gravity is going to help to draw that pelvic floor up. And it's a restful position too, it's restful. Okay, good. So let's just add a little intensity there. Now taking our yoga block, or similar, just popping that between the legs. We're bringing it quite high up towards the pelvis. And then again, inhale, and we exhale now, press the back down, give the block a good old squeeze. So my hips are quite far, well, they're off the floor now, just a couple of inches. And then we inhale down. Exhale, press in. So you're pressing in towards that midline. And then again, inhale, releasing down. Exhale, pressing down with that lower back. Scoop the pelvis, lift the pubic bone, squeeze the prop. Release down. And then again, squeeze and lift. Good. Squeeze the block, I mean. Again, I don't like that term for the pelvic floor because it can be a bit misleading. We want a sense of lift with the pelvic floor as opposed to squeezing. Good. Exhale, lift and press. Let's do two more. And again, just releasing all the way down. Last one, really focus now, pressing in, lift. And releasing all the way down. Good job. Okay, popping the block to one side. Now let's just give ourselves a bit of a stretch. So just hugging the knees in. We're going to come into happy baby now. So just taking hold of either foot, drawing the knees down. Good. So this is stretching the pelvic floor. Just relax. And then popping one foot to the floor, other leg reaches up, holding it there. Good. Releasing down, other side, stretch on up. And releasing down, take the arms out to either side, little twist either side now. Crack, crack in the back. And back to center. Going to bring the knees in, little roll in action now. Breathe out as you come up. Inhale back. Exhale up. Inhale. One more time. Exhale to left. Good job. Okay, let's close the class now. Nice deep breath in, reaching up with the arms. Exhale, drawing the hands down. Let's go one more time. Inhale to lift. Exhale. And then just let the hands relax down, either onto the knees or bringing the hands in towards the pelvis. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the session.